didn't say the wealthy should pay more. I said the ultra wealthy who are paying very low tax rates should pay more. And the figures show that the 400 top taxpayers in the United States, who earned an average of almost $230 million apiece, were paying 21% in a combined payroll tax and income tax, which is well below what all the people in my office pay.
All right. Warren Buffett earlier today speaking to Liz Claman, essentially correcting President Obama, who's been using Buffett to tout his plan of taxing those who make more than $200,000 a year. The president's saying that would pay for his jobs bill. And you know what? Reduce the deficit, too. But will taxing the rich really help create jobs? Let's ask someone who fits into that category. He's investor, entrepreneur, and chairman and founder of the Roberts Companies. He's Michael Roberts. He's also the author of Action Has No Season. So, sir, will the Buffett tax create jobs?
Well, the concept of jobs in this country will be played largely in the field of how government will spend the money in order to create opportunities. As an entrepreneur, my brother and I started several companies in the greater St. Louis area and around the country. We own about 12 hotels, 4 TV stations, and some shopping centers. And we're job creators. We came from basically North St. Louis. We had a good education. Our parents worked hard to get us there. Now, what creates jobs, what creates opportunities is having the entrepreneur chase that opportunity. Now, government plays a major role. For those who are very wealthy, they're actually big spenders of government money. What do I mean? You know, they fly in planes commercially. The FAA is a government facility that makes it safe. Globally, the military is around the world protecting the earth so that the United States, so that we can find ourselves able to invest in other countries as well as in the stock market. So tax dollars are being used, but too often people forget that the reality of growth comes in large measure from the infrastructure that's being built within our cities.
All right. Sir, Mr. Roberts, the other question, too, is should we be, overhauling the entire U.S. tax system just because of an anecdote from Warren Buffett that he pays more than his secretary that we really can't fact check because we don't have his tax returns?
Well, the 400 or so people that he's referring to probably should pay more taxes. That means we should evaluate the loopholes that they're currently using. And by the way, as he said in his story, most of those folks are people who have made the money on money. They've already made it.
All right,
they're not necessarily job creators.
Mr. Roberts, I understand what you're saying, that, tax the 400 top earners because they are earning a lot and they have a prosperous way of life. And, people in this country, some folks out there may feel that, hey, this is a fair way to go. But isn't the issue that if you tax those 400, you maybe would pay for the government for a month or so, and the real issue is spending? That why should we be raising anybody's taxes when the issue is that government has been recklessly spending and the interest costs on that spending is going up, and S&P is threatening to downgrade us further into AA because of that spending? You can tax all you want, but it's the other side of the balance sheet that's the real issue, no?
Well, as I indicated, if we're going to create jobs, if that's our bottom line, we have to create opportunities. I mean, Vanderbilt didn't make his money until the government built highways. Ford and other automobile manufacturers weren't successful until the government built highways. I'm sorry, when the government built railroads for Vanderbilt and others. I mean, GE didn't make toasters for rural America until it was electrified with TVA. So I think that what we have to look at is how we're going to create economic clusters, regional clusters, to allow for innovation and entrepreneurs to come together and build within communities. If you look at a city like Detroit, Detroit grew as a result of a clustering of a business concept. I think that what you're talking about reckless spending. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think what we have to do is focus. We have to focus on
hang on a second, sir. Solyndra has an empty plant right now, a glitzy plant that it didn't need to build. We just had a congressman on earlier, and we've had representatives from California who say there were plenty of empty warehouses, very nice buildings that Solyndra could have used. Why use taxpayer money to build new property, more real estate, more buildings, when you had existing properties out there, and that money was not being used to go toward jobs? I hear what you're saying, but the reality is, boots on the ground, that money isn't being used properly, right?
Well, you're isolating one particular event, and that's it's a fair argument. But I reject the concept that building infrastructure throughout the United States won't be helpful we have to evaluate how are we going to bring a higher electorate.
Okay.
How are we going to educate our folks? Now, let me just make this one point.
Okay,
we
quickly.
talk about unemployment being at 14%, but if you really evaluate that, for those with a college degree that are unemployed, it's only about 4.3%. Those without the college degrees are more like around 14%. So that blended 8 or 9% unemployment tells us one important thing, and that is that we have to be about better education for our community and our country.
All right. Investor, entrepreneur, chairman, and founder of the Roberts Companies, Michael Roberts. So good to be with you. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Really appreciate it.